Welcome everyone to our last preseason race. We are here in Australia. This is where all the team principals get to know about the drivers that we will be racing this season. As I said, we're in Australia. We will have short qualifying and a 50% race coming very soon. So all the cars will be in the colors assigned to their division. D1 will be yellow, orange will be D2, and D3 will be red. Like I said, we're here in Australia, 5.278 kilometers per lap, 58 laps in the real race, but it will be cut down to 29 here. 14 turns, I believe it's 5 to the left, 9 to the right, elevation of 2.44 meters, expected speeds around 362 kilometers per hour. Here into turn 1 we have a little bit of action all the way back in 2007. These two are still racing in real life together now. Then we will move down to turn 3, very tight hairpin corner. Heavy braking zone makes good for overtaken. Also makes a bit good for contact as well, as we can see right there. Then we will swoop over to one of the fastest corners on this track, if not the fastest. Perez versus Hamilton in the Red Bull. He's just easily that guy. And he flies past the Mercedes. Hopefully a Red Bull can be that quick, maybe tomorrow in Silverstone, but it is up to time to tell. So we have our three dry compounds. We have the soft tire, the C4, which will be the main one used in qualifying. The medium C3 will be one of the tires used in the race. If not, it will be the soft tire along with the hard tire C2, great race tire. So we will go into the race session now. We have some qualifying here, and it looks like the soft tire won't be used at all. I'll get the audio up real quick here. But like I said, doesn't look like the soft tire will be used at all in qualifying because, as we can see, raining very heavily. So we will get our little stuff set up. Looks like everyone is still in the pits, none other than Logan PSQ. I believe he's for D3 because he has the red car, as I said earlier. But that's full wet tires on that car, so it's going to be interesting to see this qualifying. Maybe drivers fueling up a bit extra to get more laps done consecutively, because you don't use up too much battery, so you could possibly go for maybe 2-3 laps in a row. It will be up for time to tell, and of course the drivers, it's their decision. Maybe we'll see Logan go for quite a few laps. Who else we have out track? And now it looks like we have Simon Colston in a car that is not in the right color. It kind of is. I think he's got some orange elements on there. Other than that, we have Beamer, who's I don't know what division he's in. Maybe looks like yellow. So if he's in D1, then he's losing. Shry in D3, then we have none other than Freddie Razel in D1, of course. Nick Hamrick, I forgot what his display name was, but I think he's been racing with us for a while now. Either way, he's in D2. After that, Jack Fletcher in a purple car. He's feeling a bit different today, so that's exactly what he's doing here. I think he's in D3 though. So we have Logan coming across the final corner now. We'll go on board with him for the first lap of qualifying here. Very loosey-goosey out of the final corner, but it's all straight down into turn 1. It's going to be tricky. He needs to brake a bit earlier than he would in the dry, and he brakes right now. Does he cut the corner just a little bit, but it's too much, and he invalidates. Next across the line, I think, will be Simon Colston, a driver that I've faced head-to-head with quite a few times. Very quick driver. Hopefully he won't invalidate into turn 1 like we saw earlier. But here we go, braking very, very early because of the rain, of course. Taking the curb nicely, sliding just a little bit, and he keeps it on track, keeps it straight, and he goes down into turn 3. It's going to be a very heavy braking zone, and into the right corner. It looks like he locked the right, not the right side, the rears a little bit, so that didn't help his entry into the corner at all. It's very understeer the car into these corners because normally this one would be flat out, but with the rain and all of the conditions here, it's very, very easy to spin around if you go flat out. Braking a bit more than you would in the dry, of course, and now it should still be flat out across this entire little windy straight here. No DRS, it normally would be available around now, but disabled, as I said. Taking very tight line to the closest wall and into this very fast corner. I wouldn't get it on the curbs here because it's very easy to spin around, and he does a very nice job of just keeping it on track. Purple sector 2, of course, because he's probably the only guy, or the first guy to set up the second sector, I should say, into this very tight right-hander, good for overtakes. It's invalidated the lap on the exit of that corner. Let's see who else we have going on a lap now. Looks like we have some D2 drivers. don't think they're on hot lap, so, but guess who is? It's none other than Beamer NG, Anantrubetti, as is known, team principal of Haas F1 team in Zoom Racing League, into the same corner where Simon invalidated his lap, but does he stay within the track limits? Yes, he does. Into this right-hand corner. It's a bit interesting and dry, so it's going to be even worse on wet, but he takes it just fine into the final left corner here, and it looks very, very good from the Haas F1 team principal. Through this tricky right-hand corner, it's very easy to lose traction, but he has not done so whatsoever. So he's going to be coming across the line. He's going to be our first man to set a lap, and it's going to be 1:31.777. I think we have a D3 driver across the line soon. Is that it, Try? Yes, it is. And he's 4 seconds off. Next across the line is Nick Hamrick, a bit closer to Beamer NG, but still 6 seconds off. Next is Jack Fletcher across the line, and he goes fast. It's by 7.77 of a second. Someone else crossed the line. I don't think they were starting the lap, though. That might have been Quentin K, and yes, it is. So arguably the fastest driver in the session. He looked to show some very promising potential last season, I should say, into this right-hand corner, and he locks the rears and spins it right around Jack Fletcher, gives a little kiss to him, just how it is. But yeah, so something new with this game opposed to F122, I'm sure we all know by now, but it's very easy to lock the rears, and it will spin the car around just like we saw. So I think the only driver who's from Australia here has just crossed the line and put 1:32.189. This is done very well indeed to race in his home country, but his, not his teammate I should say, but I think this guy's Logan Dukes, or Likeson as it says on screen, going a bit faster than him. Simon Colston finally across the line now to go P6. We do have a couple drivers still on hot laps. Quentin K, of course, is not one of them, as we saw him spin earlier. Who was that who jumped up? Was that Wild Morris into P2? Very impressive. Duncan McCamick, 1:53.4. Not very impressive. Almost invalidates, but he goes a bit slower, so it doesn't really gain him any advantage to the game. Lets him slide there. Very close to the left-hand wall, going into turn 3, and he locks the rears just a little bit too much. Slows down his entry to the corner indefinitely. But now through this left-hand corner, very cautious with the throttle. On to this right-hand corner, also very cautious. Doesn't make the apex at all, but it's okay as he goes into, I think this is turn 6 now. Takes it very nicely, still missing exit, but that does mean he carries a bit more speed onto this windy straight here, and he does just that. DRS not enabled. It is yellow in sector 1, I believe that is for a Division 3 driver. Took him mechanic. Let's see what his sector 2 is. It is not, oh, it is the fastest, and he's improved by 18 seconds, believe it or not. And took it a bit slow through those left-right section, but now he goes into the very, very heavy braking right-hand corner of, I forgot what corner this is, I think it's 11, but whatever it was, he took it just alright. Missing apexes a bunch is Duncan McCamick, just barely hits that one, and he's going to maybe hit it into this left-hand corner. Someone has gone fast, but he misses apex, does Duncan McCamick. Going through the final right-hand corner, gets a bit squiggly out of the penultimate corner, and he completely loses it out of the final corner. So that is just how tricky the traction is, and he almost loses it again, and he does lose it again, locking the brakes just to make sure he doesn't fly into a wall. And now Beamer will be on a lap here, or just finishing one I should say. We see Duncan McCamick still spinning around in the back. Just starting the lap is Beamer, and Nick Hamrick has just gone P2. Good showing from him. I think the next one across the line could be Quentin K. Very fast driver. He's 7 seconds up on his previous lap, as he should be. Let's see what he can do though. Through the final corner, looks very nice. A bit squiggly on the exit, but it doesn't matter. Down to the line now. Can he beat a 1:29.955 just set by Jack Fletcher? And no, he can't. It's a 1:31.628. But I have a feeling that it might be going on a lap right now. It looks very well implanted through turns 1 and 2. Down into turn 3, he has a bit of a situation going on ahead of him. That's Jack Fletcher, who I think was stopped on track, but he's got going again. So now Quentin K, it is just through the first sector, a bit loose on the exit there, but it's alright. See if he can hit this apex here, and he does. Takes speed very nicely through that corner. And now very tricky corner in the wet. He's 1 second up on his previous time, and that sets up purple sector 1. So good showing from Quentin K, and we know that he could give us more good showings. He has a bit of traffic going into this section. He won't be able to take that tight line that he wanted to, but it shouldn't affect him too much. let's see what his sector 2 improvement will be. Jack Fletcher slowing down on his left and going into the left-hand corner. Now he's 1.5 seconds up. That might be okay for first place at the moment. 8 minutes left will definitely change that. But into the deep right-hand corner, as I said, Beamer and G is now gone first fastest, and he's gone just a bit too deep, and he's into the gravel on the left-hand side. So I think that will mean the end of this lap, and yeah, he's just had a big moment into the gravel again. So end of the lap, end of the line so far for Quinton Gay. Is he holding up this D2 driver though? Well, they had a moment anyway, so doesn't matter. Combined YouTuber leaving the session. I did see a couple other people leaving the session too, so I wonder maybe we will have some desync. Oh, and Quinton just got hit in the rear by, I have no idea who that was, but whoever it was, did not expect him to slow down that quickly. Combined YouTuber has actually retired from the session, so, you know, I mean, it's his home race. I don't know if something went wrong, maybe he crashed, I wasn't really looking, but not good for him either way. We have Freddie Rizzo on a lap, but he's on the intermediate tires. I don't know if anyone else has gone on the intermediate tire. Logan hasn't been good enough for first though. Freddie Rizzo, that's a 31-1 through the second sector, 53 overall. And now he's going into the deep right-hander on intermediates. It's going to be a lot easier to take, but the rain is lightening up just ever so slightly. Takes it very nicely, hits the apex perfectly onto the exit curb now. And now he's going to go through this tricky right-hand corner. Carries a bunch more speed than the wet tire runners did. And he just likes to rears ever so slightly, which doesn't help his corner at all, but I think this might be good for first fastest anyway. We'll see as he comes to cross the line now. It's definitely going to be good for first. And by a good couple of seconds, 1:28.304. I think he could have gone faster. That's not to hate on him, of course, but he did have a couple of moments. We'll see maybe some similar lap times from drivers like Logan. I don't know if he's on a push stop. It looks like he is because he has improved 4/10. But we will see as he goes into this tricky left-hand corner now, into the final right. Will he keep it planted? Yes, he will very nicely. Not too good on the power though, so might be a bit slow across the line. And he is. He's second fastest and about 9/10 behind Hudson Pool at the moment. Wild Poor still on the wet tires. A bit interesting.
I'm racing now?
Huh? You're racing now. Who is this?
It's Hudson. You said he was 9/10 behind Hudson Pool. I didn't know I was racing.
Oh, Hudson Pool. I had completely missed that up. Freddie Razzle. I guess I just, you know, I saw a fast driver, just thought it was you. But yeah, welcome to the booth, Hudson Pool. He is here, the man himself, I think. So, how are you doing, Mr. Hudson?
I'm doing good. Happy to be commentating on this. It's Try goes P2 with the 27.1. Lixon goes P1 with the 26.4. So, you know, times are improving a lot. And we see Quinton down in P10. You know, he can do something good, and he's starting a lap now. Gets a little squirrely at the exit. Going into turn 1, he might get some traffic, but turn 1's always tricky because you don't know how much of this corner you can cut. And driver goes way off, and I think he just invalidated. Yeah.
Alright, so starting a lap now is your old team principal, none other than Duncan McCamick, of course. Let's go on board with him, and how about you take us through a lap on the intermediate tire for him?
Alrighty. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry. So this corner is always tricky. Just try to get the power down without slipping at the end. I don't want to use too much of that exit curve because you slow yourself down. Oh, he misses apex bad, and he doesn't get the invalidation, but he probably lost a good second just with that. I want to stay tight and get the throttle planted. Going into the infamous chicane here, you don't want to lose it on the exit or else you'll go right into the wall. So let's see how he takes it. You want to turn usually right before the black box or at it. Turn 1's not too bad. Took it pretty cautious, and he invalidated there, so unfortunate.
Next, another team principal. We'll go on board with Joel Garon here. I think he might be starting a lap soon. He doesn't have his battery enabled, so I'm not sure what's going on with him. He has a very unique car design. Doesn't correspond to any division because he's a team principal. He can be a little black and blue like the real life Mercedes. It's still going to be an okay lap, at least on with no battery. 129.9, good for P7, but I think he can improve a lot with the battery now enabled. I think we have a couple people crossing the line. One will be Quentin K soon, but he's invalidated again. I think that was Jack Fletcher who just went fourth fastest, and we have who knows what's going on here in Sector 1 with Freddy Razzle, whoever that is ahead of him. Just a bunch of stuff going on right now, and he's desyncing actually a little bit. Not sure what's going on here. A little bit sketchy, but that's alright. I think Simon Colston is just heading a lap now. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. We have a couple more cars coming out of the pit lane, and D2 driver coming to cross the line soon. So, Hudson, you know, Australia is a very difficult track on its own. I'd say very technical, but with the rain, how much of a difficulty factor do you think it adds here?
It adds quite a bit. It's really tricky, very mechanical. I myself do not like it, and you know, it's one of those tracks where some people you wouldn't expect to be very good at. It just suits their driving ability. Also, there's a few people saying that you're really quiet, Nathan, on the stream. I don't know if you can turn up your mic volume on it or something like that.
Yeah, I have just done that now. Hopefully it's a bit louder, but go on anyways.
So yeah, it's quite tricky. We have Quentin K here, on a lap. He's going into braking zone, hard braking zone. Ooh, blocks the rears a little bit. That really compromised his next corner, and he's struggling in the wet here. But I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like the rain has actually stopped. But of course, track is still wet. You're beginning to see a dry line here. No more wet tires, just intermediates, and Quentin K could be on a pretty decent lap here. Super long straight. Simon Carlson goes P1 with the 26.3. Very good stuff from him, being Lixon with the 26.4, around a tenth and a half. So can Quentin K change that with a minute 49 left in the session, going into the infamous chicane? Carries pretty good speed, gets a decent exit. He could be on for a good lap here. You could drain in all that battery, go into a hard braking zone as this was changed in 2022. DRS has just been enabled, so whoever starts a lap like right now, they'll get a huge benefit. But Quentin K going to the line, he should have DRS. And I wonder if anyone has tried the slick tires, but we don't know. Going into the last corner, trying to get a good exit. DRS turned on. Quentin K to the line, draining all that battery. He is going to set pole with a 25.0 by 3/10. Very good stuff from him.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, we have Hokage Roldi, who's on the soft tires, and I wonder maybe can he get to the line in time. He will be the only driver to set a soft lap, but will that mean that he is fastest? So if he can make it to the line, I think he's going to have very good potential to finish the lap first. But he needs to really push. The track is really dry now, and now he's very comfortable on the soft tire for him. I'm aware that there's some mic feedback from me, so we'll try and fix that once qualifying is over. But we will have to wait until then. So all eyes on Hokage Roldi to see if he can make the line in time. If he can, then we will maybe be seeing a stellar lap from the D3 driver to maybe put him first, but it's going to be very, very close to the line. He's going through this deep right-hander. Now he's going to be going through another right-hander and then a left and a right again, but with 10 seconds left, I don't think he'll be able to make the line. And yeah, I don't think he will, so it is up to whoever is on a lap right now. I think someone, D1 driver's about finishing the lap, and it's Quentin K here. So can he get the lap in time? He has Hokage right in front of him for a bit of a slipstream. Can he beat a 22? No, he can't. He's actually, I think he invalidated that lap, but Itchrai has gone fastest right now. It's up to whoever can cross the line next and maybe beat that time. I'm not sure who it would be right now. I'm looking to see any D2 drivers. Okay, so we have Duncan McCamick going across the line. It's not going to be fast enough, though. It is not. It's good for P10, but nothing more. Don't think whoever just crossed the line improved. Next across the line, I think we have, it was a great car. It's Joel Garon for Mercedes. He's gone P2. Then we have a couple more drivers crossing the line now. I can't really find them right now. Nick Hamrick goes P2. with a 122.7 across the line. Next is Jack Fletcher, goes P7. Next is Simon Colston across the line. He's invalidated his lap, so it doesn't matter. And then I think
Oh,
what happened? What? Tell me.
Wild Pour was having to avoid collision, and I think that just botched his lap.
Yeah, he's
He's
gone
gonna go
into
in
the
the pits now.
pits. So that is it for qualifying. Sorry I missed a bunch of action there, but this is our order. I'll take you through it. We have It Try from Division 3 on pole, faster than D1 drivers and D2 drivers around him. After that, Nick Hamrick in D2, Joel Guerin, P3, team principal of Mercedes. Then we have Logan Dukes, P4, Wild Portals, P5, Beamer, and Giannon Trevetti in P6. P7 goes to Jack Fletcher in the only purple car on this grid, and then Simon Colston in P8. Freddie Razzle, what happened, man? He's in P9. Quentin K was in P10. I'll take you through the order once I see it. Then I'll sort out this bit of a microphone issue that I'm having. So let's see here. After Quinty K, it was Duncan McCamick in P11, P12 went to Patodiskin. Logan PSQ got P13, P14 went to Combined YouTuber, the Australian on this grid. Okage Rodi, he could have had very good potential here, but he couldn't cross the line in time to get his soft tire run. So, he is last 15 drivers, and look how close the margins here from P1, from P4, it's less than 1/10 separating the quartet of them. I think that's the right word. But 10 seconds until we go into a little bit of an intermission. I'll try and sort my microphone issues out. But yeah, so that's qualifying. Good showing from Division 3. We'll see if we can keep that lead for long. We'll go into intermission real quick. So Hudson Poole is actually going to be racing. I don't know if he's going to stay racing or he's going to retire and commentate with me. But either way, we are looking towards the lights very, very soon. So I had a bit of dilemma on my hands with my microphone. It's either I stay quiet or I have a bit of feedback from my microphone. So I apologize, but I will be sticking with a quiet route. I'll try to speak up if I can. And here we go, to the lights. One light is for the formation lap. Sorry I got you all excited, but yes, formation lap is back. So for Australia, the drivers take off. It's Try in P1, Hudson Poole all the way in the back in the commentary booth with me, but on the racetrack without me. So he will be racing for a bit, I think. Tires, here's the situation right now. So It Try is on hard tires, gonna have to work very hard to warm those up. Behind him, Nick Hamrick is on medium tires, so maybe he'll get a jump off the line. Joel Guerin is P3 with hard tires, and then behind him, Logan Dukes and Wild Poros are mediums. Beamer on the hards, Jack Fletcher, Simon Colston on the mediums. Freddie Razzle is on soft tires, and he's not the only one because none other than Hudson Poole is on them as well. Then after Freddie, it's Quentin K, Duncan McCamick, Patodiskin, Logan combined all on the medium tires, and Hokage on the hard tires. So maybe a little bit of a battle going into turn 1 with Hokage and Hudson. A battle that you normally would never see, but maybe we'll have a bit of a treat today. So right now I'm wondering, will it be good enough to just drive like It Tries doing right now to warm up these tires? Because on the hard tires he's... Okay, so what he's doing right now, he's holding the brake while also on the throttle to warm up the tires a little bit. I don't know if that's actually a good strategy to do it, but I just don't know what is, if there is one. So here is the possible race strategies, and it's gone now, but soft to medium was one of them, and medium hard was another one. But with these drivers on all the tires that they are on, I don't think that is what we're going to see. Lots of drivers may be going for the medium to hard, medium to soft if they're lucky. Some drivers going for the hard medium, hard soft. Who knows? we'll have to see in about 15 laps time. But for now, we focus on this lap, the formation lap, which is being completed now. He tried lining up to his grid position just now, and has he overshot it? No, but he angles his car outwards just to maybe get the outside line. Nick Hamrick is ready to go too on his grid slot. Doesn't look like any drivers have been reset other than Duncan McCamick overshooting his grid box, but we'll go to the lead now. I don't know why this angle's so bad, but 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights, and the lights are out here in Australia. Horrible camera angle, but as we go to the front, we'll see if it looks like Itrai has made it into turn 1, and Nick Hamrick's being challenged by Joel Grant. Not anymore though. Joel is a bit back. It looks like Wild Porous made it past Logan Dukes here. Bit of action going into turn 3 with Simon Colston going down the inside of Beamer and G. Can he make it sick though, as we just see Logan Dukes trying to make a move here for P4, and he hasn't made it, but look who's gone into P6. It's none other than Simon Colston. Very beautiful move through turn 4, but will he be challenged into turn 6? It doesn't look like he will. No drivers going side by side through here. As we continue through turn 6, I believe it is, onto this very long straight, we'll see if there's any people who are trying to make an overtake through here. Looks like Quinton K will be trying to make it around the outside of Beamer and G, but he hasn't got the pace in a straight line to do so into the fast left-hand and right-hand flick. He's got a better line than Beamer through that corner, but it doesn't look like it's enough. It looks like Joel Grun is trying to go around the outside of Nick Hamrick here, and he has done just that in his Mercedes-themed car. And we have a spinner that is, I think that's Logan PSQ, Wild Force, and Nick Hamrick still going at it for P3. And it looks like Wild Force will have that, make a bit of contact, and now we have a bit more action. Simon Colston trying to go around the outside of the final corner, around the outside of, oh no, he's gone around. Simon Colston has gone around. He's been touched by, I think that was Logan Dukes. And from fighting for P4 to dropping down into P15, not a good story for Simon Colston right now. Right now, it looks like these two drivers have escaped unscathed. Doesn't look like any drivers are making overtakes going into turn 3. But maybe if someone makes a mistake, they will be able to capitalize on that. Quinton K and Freddie Razzle. I mean, Freddie Razzle's on the soft tires right now, and he's made them work. Right now, we'll look onto the position changes. And it looks like Freddie Razzle is going to make another overtake, and they make contact, and Quinton K has smacked the wall after being hit by Freddie Razzle, so he's going to be joined now by Simon Colston, but he's going to see Simon fly past him, so he's another loser in terms of positions lost, as is Simon Colston and Logan PSQ. Hudson Poole is, he was supposed to be commentating with me, but I'm not going to hold him for it, because he's racing now and he's made up 6 positions. So great job from him. D1 driver, one of the fastest drivers here as he goes a bit deep. Maybe I was distracting him. I don't even know if he's still in the call. But if he is, I'm very sorry. He almost gets hit by another driver.
Yeah, I don't know my breaking points.
He doesn't know his breaking points, says Hudson Poole, and he's lost a couple positions due to that. They'll continue here. It looks like Wild Poros has just made a move for the lead of the race. I did not see that because now behind him we have a 3-way battle for P4 right now. It doesn't look like anything will happen here, but if it does, we will be on board for all the action. Another yellow flag in sector 1 was that Duncan McCamick, who's had a bit of a moment. Either way, he's been overtaken by Simon Colston down the inside of turn 3. Now Hudson Poole is trying to get on into this fight, but he has Quinton K right behind him, 2 very fast D1 drivers, and looks like Duncan McCamick went off there. He got maybe a warning for it, but either way, he's still got the 2 Division 1 drivers charging on behind him. Will we see any overtakes going on through the straight? Yes, we will. Looks like Nick Hamrick has made it past, and now Joel Garan ahead of them both has a 3-second time penalty. So while overtaking, I think, actually no, while he was overtaken by Logan Dukes, he also lost out on the DRS on Logan Dukes. So that did not help him whatsoever in trying to fight back with him, and has been very clearly shown at that point. It looks like Hudson Poole just got overtaken, and he's actually had another deep moment, I'd assume, into that tricky right-hand corner, and he's behind Quinton K by a couple seconds now. We go back to the mid-pack of the field right now. It looks like Joel Grun is a bit closer to Itrai then Itrai is close to Wild Porous, but I don't think Joel Grun can do anything with that at the moment. He just has to stick behind and wait for Itrai to maybe get out of that DRS gap from Wild Poros right now, but that's what he has to do. He just has to stick behind him for now. Behind him is Logan Dukes, also pretty close behind. Then Nick Hamrick is just within a second. Now he's dropped out of it again, but he's being overtaken as Nick Hamrick by Beamer and G. So it's going to be down the inside for the corner unless he can make it easily past him. He's done just that, has Beamer and G. He's gone up into P5. So now Nick is going to be trying to maybe fight him back, but he doesn't get the DRS. Oh, I think I get it now. So there's one detection point for the previous DRS zone and this one, so that would explain it all. Freddy Razzle on the soft tire is trying to make it, maybe make it an overtake on Nick Hamrick here. He's seen him been struggling a bit, so can he get it into turn one? He's had a much better exit, but he had to back off just a little bit. And now onto the power, onto the DRS. He's going to be trying around the outside if he can make it, but he isn't fast enough in a straight line to do so. So we'll stick on board with him. We'll actually go with this angle here to see if he makes a move down into turn 3. He's very, very close going through the corner, but can he make it even closer through the next one? No, he can't, is the answer. And he almost went into the back of him, did Freddy Razzle. Escaped any contact, though. No overtakes being made. Freddy Razzle gets a time penalty just after trying to make an overtake on Nick Hamrick. Right now, Logan Dukes is the most probable overtake maker. It's going to be on Itrai. It's very, very wide through the right-hander, and now he's going to have the DRS to fly past Itrai on the straight, and now maybe even Joel Grun can get interested on Itrai, because Itrai won't have the DRS for the next one either. So, through this next corner, he's had a bit of wide moment as Itrai, and now Joel Grun has seen that, and he's going to try make an overtake here on Itrai. It's going to be around the outside of this corner. Breaks a bit early and won't be able to make the overtake unless he can capitalize on the moment just made by Itrai, but he can't. So he sticks behind him, does Joel Grun for just a bit longer here. And so Logan Dukes doesn't actually have the DRS, so now Itrai and Joel Grun will now have the DRS. Right now though, I don't know if Itrai has enough pace to keep behind or at least try and make an overtake once again on Logan Dukes. If he does, he'll have to make it pretty swiftly before he can, or before he drops out of the gap. Freddy getting another time penalty. I don't know what's ever going on with that man, but it's never anything good, is it? So Freddy Razzle is maybe now under a bit of pressure from Jack Fletcher. Not a good situation, but he is on the soft tires, so maybe those are degraded just a bit too quickly for the liking of the second best British driver in this league. But now a bit of a DRS train between Freddy Razzle, Jack Fletcher, Nick Hamrick, and Beamer is leading it right now. So maybe Nick can make an overtake on Beamer, not within this corner I don't think, but maybe within the next if he gets a better run through here. We'll see if he does. Looks about on par, but he has a moment on the exit, so I think that will basically throw his chances of making an overtake out the window. No other overtakes being made right now other than Jack Fletcher maybe trying to look on Freddy Razzle again. Those soft tires definitely not helping him whatsoever, Freddy Razzle. So we see him just going a bit wide now. He's had a moment in the previous corner. Does he pit now? We'll have to see. He doesn't. So he continues on through the miserable soft tires, but maybe he's trying to go onto the hard tires next time round. Logan Dukes might be on time for an overtake on Wild Forest. He's not on the battery. I think if he did go on the battery though, he would have had it in the bag. Maybe a different strategy in terms of overtaking though. So we'll stick with him for now, because I think what his strategy is to go past him on this next couple of DRS sections here. We'll see if I'm proven right, and Itrai has just gone wide I think and lost position to Joel Grun. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but he did go very wide. And here goes Logan Dukes for the lead of the race, getting squeezed ever so slightly to the left, but he's made it easily past Wild Forest and up DRS for the next straight as well. Will Joel Grun have DRS? Yes, he will. So now he's going to be on the hunt for Wild Forest. He's gained plenty of time through that left-right chicane, so he'll be the next one to attack for P2, which at the moment would still be P4 with his time penalty if the race were to finish right now, but it won't. So he'll have plenty of time to keep on fighting here. A try right behind Jolgron. He's D3, but he's keeping good pace. We actually see two D2 drivers and two D3 drivers in the top 4. So a bit different than what you would expect. We'd like to see some more D1 drivers near the front. But right now it looks like they're all in the back. And so Wild Forest actually got DRS before that those past 2 straights, which didn't help Jolgron whatsoever into maybe making an overtake. But Wild Forest has dropped out of it now, so maybe Jolgron will be looking to make a move here. And maybe Troy can follow him through. He's on the battery right now, just trying to make some extra time up through the corners. We'll see if that helps him whatsoever. Jolgron will have the DRS here. Does it go on the battery though? I don't know if he'll go for it here. I have seen him taking a very good line through the left right chicane. Freddie getting another time penalty. Maybe the 3rd best British driver in this league now. But just look at the line difference. Will that be enough though to make an overtake? He's onto the battery just a little bit. Flashing battery for Wild Forest. And he doesn't make the overtake yet. The try is nowhere to be found on that battle. Nick Hamrick not going to be making an overtake on Beaver and G. But he's got a bit of battery, so I think maybe he'll be trying to save it a little bit. Todeskin, maybe still seeing Freddie Razzle struggle a little bit with the soft tires, definitely getting plenty of penalties due to track limits. We'll see what those penalties are, if it will let me. Freddie goes into the pits. I have no idea what happened there. I think he might have like hit a wall or something, because he came to a very sudden stop and now he's speeding in the pit lane. What a fraud. So now Quinta K has maybe had a moment, and he's been overtaken by Duncan McCamick. Hudson Poole is all the way in the back, but he'll be not last anymore because Freddie Razzle is our first retirement, as Wild Forest just got a time penalty. Interesting. So we'll look at the penalties now. I was struggling to find them for a bit, but 3 seconds for 7 drivers. That is Mikage, Hudson, Logan, Jolgron, Wild Forest, who's actually, Jolgron is trying to make an overtake right here, right now. Better line through that little left right chicane is easily going to be passed Wild Forest now. Around the outside, not even, makes it easily past Wild Forest now. It tries going to be maybe on the hunt now, but he's had a bit of a moment out of that corner. Let's look back to any other battles. Simon Colston right now is the closest one with a chance of overtaking other than Nick Hamrick right now, but I don't know if he'll have anything in the bag because he's just had a bunch of moments in a short span of time. Does that let Jack Fletcher get it anyway? So I had completely missed this overtake for the lead. Sorry about that once again. Joel Curran has been overtaken for the 2nd place by Wild Forest. So quite a nice battle between them. Right now Wild Forest has plenty less battery than Jolgron does, so I don't know why or how he made that overtake happen. Maybe a bit of a moment for Jolgron. Either way, he's back into P2. And right now they both have time penalties, so they would both drop down 1 position, which would let it try up into P2 after penalties, of course. After this though, Jack Fletcher doing a very nice job. He's sticking right behind the driver ahead, but he's using plenty of his battery. He won't have the advantage on this straight whatsoever. Nick Hamrick, I mean, he's going fast. I don't think he'll be fast enough to get it through this corner though. Through this left-right now. He'll maybe get an overtake happen. He's going on the battery. Will he go for the move? He's not close enough, so he decided to back out of it just ever so slightly. Jack Fletcher not going to be challenging him whatsoever. Now Simon Colston and the home driver are going at it. And Simon Colston has made it past combined YouTubers. So now our bottom 6 have time penalties here. Combined YouTuber, he'd probably want to be making a bit more of a showing for his home crowd here. I don't know if it matters to him too much, but I'm making a big deal out of it, so we'll just stick with it for now. And he won't be able to catch Simon on this straight, maybe on the next one though. I know, I'm hoping he can wrap it up pretty soon. Here he goes on the battery, goes on the GS, but he's not close enough, so he backs out of it. Once again, let's go back to the fight at the front here, because Jolgron will have DRS on these next 2 straights. And right now he's looking quite pacey as Shulkron. So maybe, just maybe, if you can make it happen down one of these two straights. He's gaining just ever so slightly on this one. Now with the DRS, he's gaining a bit more. He's inching towards the D2 driver. Won't get it here though. But I think with the run that he's been having through the chicane, he'll have it here if he goes in the battery, but he doesn't. So not making any moves here is Shulkron. Quinton K and Duncan Mechanic, excuse me as I switch to them, having a bit of a tussle. I think Duncan Mechanic knows though that Quinton is easily the faster driver, and of course he doesn't have the DRS advantage. We go on board with combined YouTuber now, trying to make it happen around the outside of Simon Costin again. Just barely going through track limits now, and they're going to be side by side with this tricky right-hand corner, almost forcing him off the track. It does Simon Colston, but it looks like combined will have to stay behind for a bit longer, but he will have DRS going on to this next straight here. Will he be able to make anything of it? He's going maybe down the inside through turn 1, and he will. Let's see as it goes side by side. Does he make the move stick? Yes, he does, but will Simon Colston have a better line through here? He's right on the back of this D2 driver. DRS for combined YouTuber, but does that stop Simon Colston? Yes, it does. I think there was a change in positions up here, somewhere between Nick Hamrick and H-Try. Actually, it might have been between Nick Hamrick and Beamer and G. And now there's a yellow flag in sector 1. Is that... Okay, that looks like it's Potodiskin. So now maybe another position for the home driver to be gained here. Doesn't have the DRS, does he? No, he doesn't, but he's gaining very quickly. He does have the DRS. He's going to be flying past, certainly, on this straight, unless he decides to keep it conservative. He's going to try around the outside, but Potodiskin giving him just enough room to slip past and hit the apex as he wants to. So combined YouTuber making up another position now. Jack Fletcher is behind these two drivers who are having a bit of a tussle themselves. Will Beamer and G be able to make anything happen of it? Will Jack Fletcher be able to make anything happen of it? We will have to see. Onto the battery now goes Beamer and G around the outside into turn 1. He's flying past Nick Hamrick here. It almost looked like Nick Hamrick was conceding that on purpose. That's how slow he was compared to Beamer. On the straight line, Potodiskin getting the time penalty now. What is happening here? Two drivers pitting now to give me the information that I wanted. But anyways, so now Simon into the pits, Potodiskin also into the pits. Duncan Mechanic takes those two positions. Hokage might even get them as well if he's lucky. And try getting the time penalty here. Not ideal for a position that he's in right now. Yeah, so here we go. Beamer and G, he's leading Nick Hamrick and Jack Fletcher both together in this small DRS train. But Joel Grun is almost about to make a move in the other DRS train in front of the other three. Will he be able to make a move through this corner though? I don't think he will be able to. I'll check the tires real quick because I do know that the pit window might open soon, as Joel Grun has a massive moment. He's almost going to make contact with the try because he's going so slowly. We'll see though. Does anyone pit here? It doesn't look like they will. But now Itchrai has got all the advantage that he wants, and he sees it, and he's going to try and take it, but he hasn't got the straight line speed to do so, at least not into this straight. Will he have it for the next straight? Let's see here. Both a bit loose on the exit there, but he's not going for it, is Itchrai. So he won't be making a move for P3 on Joel Grun now. I think Joel could be very close to P2 right now if he didn't have that moment earlier. We'll have to see what happens from all that. Nick Hamrick almost going around completely, and that's allowed Jack Fletcher to go past him, right past him through a corner you don't normally see overtaking. But when there's a mistake, when there's a gap that exists, you have to take it or else you won't be a racing driver. So now Itchrai will go back on board with him to see if he can make an overtake happen on Joel Grun. He's getting very close, but he lifts off because he knows that he doesn't need to be making an overtake here, but he still goes deep in the corner. Doesn't help him whatsoever. Nick Hamrick making it past Jack Fletcher once again. And Itchrai now too far behind of Joel Grun to make anything happen from there. Quinton K might be making an overtake here. He's got a bit wide through that left-right. Now onto the battery, now onto the DRS. Does he go down the inside? Yes, he does. Will he be able to make the move stick? Yes, he does, because Combined concedes that, but he tries to go for a switchback, but it's not too quick out of the exit, so it doesn't matter for the Australian driver. Jack Fletcher now has DRS on Nick Hamrick, but Nick is still faster in a straight line. 182, about the same for Jack Fletcher right now. So through turn 1, looks like Jack was ever so slightly faster, and now he sees that, and now he's going to try around the outside of turn 3. DRS wide open, as I let you see there, around the outside, not braking quite late enough, but he sticks it around the outside. He's going to have the inside for this corner now, but still around the outside does go Nick Hamrick, and he'll have the inside line, will Nick, but he concedes the position to Jack Fletcher, so Jack into P6 now. The action has died down quite a bit. I mean, I would look to combine YouTuber, but we know that Quinton K is just so fast everywhere on this track, so I don't think he'll be making an overtake happen. Maybe a try will, though, if he has a good run through these couple of corners here. And he does, but will he take advantage of that? It doesn't look like he will. Getting very close to Joel Grand, but not close enough. So now I'm expecting the pit window to be opening here, lap 15. Definitely the crossover point for some of these drivers here. We'll look to the medium runner. So Logan Dukes goes past the pit lane, not interested whatsoever. Neither is Wild Forest, neither is anyone behind him. This may be Nick Hamrick. Go for it. No, he doesn't. Nor does Jack Fletcher. Quinton K, a bit too far behind at the moment to see. Locking the race a little bit. Doesn't go for the pits. Neither does Combined. So no one pitting just yet. Jack Fletcher very, very close behind Nick Hamrick at the moment. I don't think he'll be close enough into turn 3 though. If he's a bit risky, he'll send it. If he doesn't, he won't. That's just how it goes. I think right now Jack Fletcher is just the faster driver at the moment. That is Duncan McCamick going into the pits for the soft tire. I don't think he'll be able to make those last until the end. Either way, he goes for it. So here we go with the time penalties. 3 seconds for Wild Forest, 6 seconds for Joel Grand, 3 seconds for Try, 3 seconds for Quinton K, combined YouTuber, Hudson Pool, and Hokage Roldy. Other than that though, 8 seconds for Pototoskin. As what is happening here? Nick Hamrick apt to spinning around in a place that you don't see anyone spin around. I have to guess that was due to contact with none other than Jack Fletcher himself, but just missed it. So that was the end of that little fight, and it definitely ended in shambles for Nick Hamrick. Joel Grand goes into the pits now. He's our first one to pit on the normal strategy here. His team crew very slow with the tires, I have to say. On with the mediums though, he's gonna have to warm this up nice and hot. So pitting is also Nick Hamrick. Onto the hard tire, I think it will be. Yes, it will be from P9. Actually, he was pitting from P6, and now he's gone down to roundabout. He might actually be overtaken by Pototoskin, who's flying down the final straight, but no, he's going to be well clear. This is Nick Hamrick. Combined YouTuber is still very close, doing a good job of keeping with Quinton K, even though arguably he's not the faster driver around a lap or multiple laps. But he's had the DRS, which is very helpful on this track, and it just helps you keep within the driver ahead of you. But still, Quinton K is quite a bit faster in a straight line, as we can see the gap going down just barely. Without the DRS, he was a sitting goose, was combined YouTuber to Quinton K. I mean, he'll get closer, but not close enough for anything to happen here. And other than this little battle itself, no other driver is within 1 second of another. So we have another pitter, that is Wild Forest and Itchry and Jack Fletcher now. Just barely speeding the pit lane. Hudson will get another time penalty. But we'll see. Who was it that pit? It was Joel Grand, but does he get the undercut to work? It looks like he will, but just barely. Actually, no, he won't. He won't get any positions off of this whatsoever, but he has the hotter tires now. He sees the driver ahead of him. That's Itchry, who's very vulnerable on his cold tires. Does he send it around the outside? No, it doesn't, but he almost goes into the back of the D3 driver. Keeping it going through these corners. Still have the advantage will Joel Grand, but I don't think he'll be able to make an overtake through any of them. But with this kind of distance in between the two drivers and with the DRS that Joel Grun will receive in just a few moments' time, I think it'll be well past of a try in just a couple a couple moments. Yeah, so here goes around the outside. No, he's been covered off by a try and conceding the position now as a try. Maybe he thinks that was a bit unfair on his part, so he does the gentleman's act here and lets Joel Grun by. Now Wild Poros has gone on the soft tire. He's not the only driver who's put onto the soft tire as well. Quinton K having plenty of moments and just holding up Wild Poros a little bit. Now won't be holding them up any time longer. Beamer takes the lead of the race, but Logan Dukes into the net lead of the race, I should say, but makes it quite clear of Wild Poros, who's also on the soft tire, so maybe it's not that bad of a strategy because multiple people are going for it. Look at all the soft tire runners that we have now. Now Quinton K is another one, so it looks like soft tires will definitely be a very good strategy in the race. We'll have to see though. So we try maybe with the advantage now, the tire advantage at least on paper. But does he have the guts to make an overtake within the next couple of corners here? He'll have the DRS, and I think he'll have the battery advantage as well. Yes, he does. He has double the battery of Joel Grun ahead. He'll sit back and relax a little bit and just let you see this overtake that might be happening soon. Through the left and through the right. Will it try have the advantage? Doesn't go on the battery. But he will stay behind Joel Grun. Looks like behind teammates. Duncan McCamick and Hudson Poole, or at least past teammates, swapping positions. Hudson Poole will not have the DRS either, but Duncan McCamick goes wide out of the right-hander. Doesn't open up anything whatsoever. And now, so Beamer pits here. He'll drop him down to maybe P5. P6 it would be, because Simon Carlson flies right past him on the track. So now we have a bit of an interesting situation here. We have a fight for the lead potentially, and we have a fight for P3. And with all these penalties, it could be very easy for Simon Colston to just maybe gain a bit of time here. And hopefully the plan is to maybe get a P4, P3 if he's lucky. So Wild Poros inching towards Logan Dukes here. Will it be good enough though? As good try just to pass Joel Grun there. For the lead of the race, will it be good enough? Doesn't go on the battery, but he's getting so close to the back of Logan Dukes is Wild Poros. Will not make the overtake there. We'll go back on board Joel Grun, not making any moves there. Jack Fletcher, no DRS for him. So not really any action happening here. Maybe Quinton K can make it happen on Todiskin. Yes, he does around the outside on the straight. Very, very easy for him to make that overtake happen. So we'll go back to the front now. Won't be any move from Wild Poros. Maybe we'll see one from Joel Grun himself though, and guess not. So now Wild Poros maybe around the outside into turn 3, both on soft tire, and around the outside goes Wild Poros. Can he make it stick though? No, not according to Logan Dukes. Around the outside still goes Logan Dukes, and he's getting squeezed ever so slightly, but you have to concede that position going into the right-hander would never make it work through that very quick right-hander. But now, Logan Dukes will have the DRS advantage on these next few traits, and he's very close to the driver ahead, so I think we'll have an easy move right here. We'll try down the inside, and just giving him room does Wild Poros, and flying right past him. We have a yellow flag. Is that Simon Colston in turn 6? Actually, absolutely making the engine scream. Trying to do a little pirouette. Has done just that. So now Jack Fletcher is another man who's trying to make an overtake happen here, but so is Joel Grun. Maybe not, I lied. But maybe will Jack Fletcher go for it? I'm not sure how Beamer's gotten DRS, but he has got it. So he will not be able to make an overtake. Will Jack Fletcher? We'll keep going. Closest battle on track right now is between Joel Grun and a try, both on the same tire. Will it be sufficient? Or will the gap be good enough to make maybe an overtake possible on this occasion? Maybe in the turn 3 we'll see a bit of a different story. Doesn't look like we will at the moment though. So we continue. The next couple of straights will be DRS for Joker on here, and this is an overtake on track here. So they both have penalties, which does mean that even if he gets past, that means that he'll stay past instead of dropping back down. Onto the DRS though, he might be able to make a move happen right here. Around the outside he goes to try to put up any contest. No, he doesn't. Makes Joker think twice about it though. Jack Fletcher not close enough to make an overtake happen. We try not going to be making re-overtake happen. Or maybe Logan have the guts to go for it. No, he won't. So now we go on board with Simon Carlson, who might be making a move on Hudson Poole here. We'll see. Not here, but maybe through the next corner. He's going to be looking potentially down the inside. It's not on the battery though, so it looks like Hudson Poole will survive another round. So combined YouTuber, the home driver, is still behind Duncan McCamick on fresher tires, just barely fresher, but fresh enough. Won't be making a move there, but it looks like we might have a fight for P3, but we don't, because the try doesn't want to go for it. So now, combined YouTuber might be making him past Duncan McCamick, and he won't. Not through turn 1 at least. Through turn 3 though, can he make it happen? Let's see, sending it down the inside goes combined YouTuber, and what a brilliant move from the Australian driver, but now Duncan McCamick is trying to come back from it, and he's just barely right behind the back of combined YouTuber. And he'll have DRS going through these next couple of straights, and it's onto the battery right away, which means I think the Red Bull team principal will be looking to make a move very shortly onto the DRS. He's going to have it very, very soon. Logan retiring from the session in the pits, and there went Duncan McCamick. So now a little bit of a fight maybe between these two drivers. Onto the battery, onto the DRS, but still not fast enough in a straight line is Itchrai. But can he make it happen? There's a driver coming out of the pits, maybe distracting the pair a little bit. Not quite enough though for Itchrai. So now it's going to be down the inside, maybe around the outside for Itchrai. He goes down the inside of turn 3 for P3. And he makes it work, and they made a bunch of contact, and that is why Joel Grant is now more than a second behind Itchrai. They made plenty of contact, and that just forced Joel wide. Maybe saying some bad words is Joel Grant right now. He's normally a common Caboose driver though. And right now Wild Course is still, he's hanging on to P2 at the moment. Right now, even if he were to make an overtake, he would still not have the position on track, so I wonder maybe this is his plan to just stick behind, and he's getting very close to Logan Dukes, but he hasn't made it happen yet. Joel Grant not going to be making anything happen from where he's at. Very beautiful car design, I must say. So now it's back to the fight for the lead. Going on to lap 25 now is Logan Dukes, which is going to be a couple more laps filled with pressure from Wild Poros. Maybe getting a track invalidation there. Doesn't affect him whatsoever. Onto the battery for a second there. Doesn't make an overtake here. Now Joel Grant is going to be very close. Does he make an overtake here? He's onto the overtake very early, so I think he will send it down the inside. Maybe a bit of a payback from what happened last time, but no contact made and a position made from Joel Grant, so that is him up to P3. And now Quinton K is maybe the next man that we'll see to make an overtake here. Soft tires may be a bit better than the hard tires. I'd say the soft tires have degraded a lot by now. Combined YouTuber making it past Duncan McCamick again, but Duncan goes for the switchback again and hasn't gotten it. Gets a better line through that corner, but won't be able to make it sick with lots of lag from my YouTuber, and there's a pass being made from the lead. But a switchback from Logan Dukes. He's on the inside line now. Does that mean anything though? Can he stick it around the outside? Yes, he can. Can Wildporos. But yes, he will. Logan Dukes will have DRS for the next straight. So will he go for it right away once again? We'll have to see. He's very close. Doesn't go for the overtake button yet. But I think he might go for it on the next straight. Or maybe the plan is just to keep behind him and, he'll get the win anyway. We'll have to see though. They try making an overtake on Joel Grun again. That's for track position here. He'll have GRS on the next straight as well. So that is a permanent move as it stands right now. But will that be enough to keep Joel Grun behind? Joel Grun might be a polite driver, but he's definitely a fast one too. So he'll have plenty of pressure. Will it try for these next couple of laps here? Jack Fletcher, a man who's been trying to make overtakes all race long, hasn't been able to make this one. Just kidding. So now Logan Dukes goes around the outside of Wildporos again. So they're still squabbling for position, even though it wouldn't really matter on track if Logan Dukes is behind Wildporos. But he doesn't care, he can have a little bit of fun. Preseason race, not for points. And he is P1. Joel Grun, he's just barely behind the car of Itchirai, but he doesn't want to go for an overtake right now, so he's being very cautious, but I think he can afford to be at this stage of the race, because I think what his plan is to charge the battery up a bit. He has no advantage of battery, does Joel Grun right now. He'll go for a move very late. We saw Duncan McCamick reset the track and, can't penalize him there, but whatever. Quinton K still trying to make an overtake happen on Nick Hamrick. He might be looking for it into turn 1, but he lifts off the power. But he's definitely going to be having a little sniff into turn 3. He's going to be looking around the outside if he keeps his line here. I think Hudson Poole's dog is giving us a very welcome hello here as he's driving. But Quinton K makes it around the outside of Nick Hamrick. But can he gap Nick in time? So now Joel Grun has the overtake button on. He has the DRS button now on. He's going to try to run the outside here. Will it try put up a fight? No, he won't. Almost going into the back of him though. Takes an arguably better line, but gets a bit of a moment on the exit there. So Joel Grun stays P3 for now, but I don't think the fight is quite over yet. So this is the fight. We go on to lap 28 now, and only a couple more opportunities for Wildporos to take the lead again. But even after that, he still has a bit of a chore in making it fly past him and gap him by 3 seconds. I think it's 3 seconds anyway, it might be more.
Yo, it's raining.
It's raining, says Hudson Poole, and we can see that on track. So great forecast information from the Hudson Poole and our visuals now. But will that make the race just a bit more exciting? Hopefully it does. Will that affect this battle here on track? Itchirai and Joel Grun, they've had this fight for almost the entire race now. Will it matter? It's getting harder for Joel to stay on track as we just saw him go wide there. And the Tower of Marble's not helping him whatsoever. So, here's the question. Does Itchirai go for the move now? It looks like he will, but that will leave him vulnerable on the next lap here. Onto battery for a little bit, onto the DRS now. It's still raining here through the fast corner. Logan Dukes has been overtaken through that corner, but now will it be the same case for Joel Grun being overtaken? It doesn't look like it will be. And so now I realize that I completely lied about it being a battle for track position. This is just, it is a battle for track position, but won't matter in the official position. Itchirai at the moment still stands for a P3 finish here. DRS still enabled despite the rain. Looks like a combined YouTuber might have had a bit of a moment going through the entry of that corner. I can't remember the turn name, but very odd spot to lose it. Anyways, now Duncan McCamick might be able to take advantage of that just for fun, even though he has 15 seconds of time penalties. Doesn't matter to him, and they both make contact and sends combined YouTuber into the gravel, but feels bad about it and lets him pass. Simon Colston, Pototskin having a great battle here. And Okay, so Simon has won that one, but here's the battle for the lead of the race on track. Logan Dukes making it past again. This is the final lap of the Grand Prix, by the way. And Wild Pros does have to concede that position. I don't think he'll go for it, though, on track. He's not got the advantage, so this looks like it might be a Logan Dukes win here. We will have to see, though. A few corners, all of them slippery. Can he keep it on track? Can Logan Dukes just make it happen? He's going through the final corner now. Go onto this beautiful angle. Going through the final corner. Here we go. Keeps it on track very nicely. He's going to go all the way across the straight, and it's not going to be enough for Wild Poros. And he crosses the line now to win this preseason race in Zoom Racing League. Wild Poros finishes second, and he will stay that way because the try is 12 seconds back now, and he's crossing the line as Joel Grun is right behind him, having a little bit of a drag race with, I think that's Hokage Roldi, across the line P4. Beamer just gets, actually he's been into P4 now because of the time penalties ahead of him. Jack Fletcher also getting into position off that. Nick Hamrick P7, Quincy K P8, Simon Carlson still in a bit of a battle with Pototoskin, but I don't think that will mean anything as the Pototoskin just locked up a little bit. And that will be it. Simon Carlson across the line P9, Pototoskin P10. Now Duncan McCamick and Hudson Poole having a beautiful battle here. Hudson just had the door completely shut on him, but now he's pushing around the Red Bull team principal, and he's completely pushed him around the corner, and they're still making contact. Beautiful overtake made by Hudson Poole. Then he's absolutely wonderful racing action. Beautiful racecraft from these two, and that allows combined YouTuber to take them both. And what a brilliant end to the race. So I don't think I'll be doing interviews with our podium finishers, but now that Hudson Poole is still in the booth with us, I mean, take us through the race. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was a shit show, bro. I had no setup on. The track felt like crap. It was not good. No good.
Brilliant to hear. Okay, let's look at the telemetry, not the telemetry, the race results. So Logan Dukes wins it once again. Wild Poros P2, Itchry P3, Beamer P4, Jack Fletcher P5, Shulgran P6, Hamrick in P7, Quinton K P8, Simon P9, Pototoskin P10, P11 goes to combined YouTuber, Hudson Poole P12, P13 goes to Duncan McCamick after the amazing scrap we saw on the last lap. Hokage Roldi P14 got lapped and finished behind, I think it was Simon Colston. P15 goes to Logan PSQ, and Freddie Razzle, as you should be, as he normally is, in last place. So, I see no reason to continue onward from here, but thank you for watching this preseason race. It's been fun to commentate it on my own, but that was the last race that we had before our draft tomorrow at 8 p.m. EST. Hopefully you'll be able to join us here. You'll see myself, Duncan McCamick, Joel Grun, and Beamer and G, Simon Colston as well, all showing their beautiful faces to pick out our drivers for this next season. And in a couple weeks' time, we'll be onwards with the real season. But until then, thank you for watching. Subscribe to Zoom Racing.